call. This is also a protection for our family. Our family members are very concerned about our safety, but they gave us more concern, more love on our side. At a special time, it is important for us to encourage each other to consolidate our evidence and believe that we will finally win this war. We are all very tired, but physically, not mentally. We have to build this confidence, this kind of beliefs in our heart that saving life is our mission and our job description as a medical worker. Thank you so much for the hard work, but you've been wearing protective suits all the time. Most of your patients have never seen what you look like. So here is a close shot of this lovely doctor so that the patients have been discharged can have a clearer look at you. I'm with the CGFG. I'm a chief nurse. This is the 20th days that since the arrival of Wuhan, and our hospital have organized this team to sign up for this team to be deployed in Wuhan. And more than 900 nurses signed up for this task. Some say that they've been to the battle against SARS. Some say that they are party members. Some say that they do not have a lot of family burdens. So as a party member, I feel very proud to undertake this task. And come along with us are the best respiratory teams and CCM expert teams, as well as medical resources to provide that with the much-needed protection. We altogether have admitted 60 critical and severe cases, and as of now, 20 of them have been discharged. In this war with no bullets, we are the nurses as well as soldiers in this. We provide them with the care that they need, and we take care of them as if they were our family members. We are confident that we will finally win this war. I want to tell the families of the patients that please rest assured that your family members are in very good hands. So this is your 20th days here in Wuhan, yes? Do you miss your home? To be honest, yes, I do. So would you like to say something to your family? On behalf of all the 30,000 medical workers who came to Wuhan's assistance, I want to say to my family, please don't worry. I'm doing well in work here in Wuhan, and I feel proud to be a member of this team. And this is a noble task that we're doing, and we'll finally win this war, so please rest assured. Mr. Zhang, my name is Zhang Xiaohong. I'm with the Public Security Bureau of Chaokou District, and we received the order in January, and we have summoned up a team to the Tianhe airport to conduct traffic control, and that's when we realized that the war to defend Wuhan had begun. And more than 1,500 of our colleagues began to work day and night since then. We are in charge of the safety, the security of critical transportation juncture, as well as hospitals and other public places. In this war, the orders of the city have been implemented with full commitment. We have a slogan To fight the disease, we will put in all efforts to finally win this battle, and I am very proud of my colleagues.
和张局长聊天的时候，张局长说了很多关于他的同事。
Mr. Zhang mentioned a lot of hard work that is done by his colleagues, and maybe more later we can have more time to dwell on that part. So my special thanks goes to all the public security officers. Hello everyone, I'm Wu Hui. I am a deliveryman here in Wuhan. I was in Wuhan as a student, and I began my work as a deliveryman since last year. So I chose to stay here during Spring Festival because I understand that there should be more business here. But things suddenly changed because of the outbreak of the disease. I read the news, and there are reports saying that many of the medical workers can only have access to instant noodles during Spring Festival. So I began my delivery service to the hospitals, and when I delivered the food to the hospitals, I found that everything is in order in these hospitals. So during my special service period, that is the past month, I saw many people, and I have heard a lot of stories, and I've recorded and written down those stories and post them on Weibo, and I have received a lot of comment, a lot of support and encouragement from all over the country. And then I found slowly that our job has become a special one. We are becoming one of the important links that keep the city running. So you have an internet ID called 老纪. I think these takeout delivery men and a lot of other cleaners are everywhere in our city, but most of the time we don't take notice of them. But your contribution will be remembered by us. Thank you so much for your hard work. Hello everyone, I'm Hua Yuchen. I'm a music teacher in Ganghua University in Qingshan district of Wuhan. I was born here in Wuhan, and since the outbreak of the disease, I became very anxious, however helpless, because I am not a medical expert and do not have any access to the medical resources. But as a young person here living here in Wuhan, I feel obliged to do something and do some efforts. So I signed up for the volunteer work here in Wuhan. I picked up medical workers to work. I also help with the temperature check on roads. I also help carry out the medical resources and luggages. And right now, I'm working at Qingshan Hospital as a volunteer. And now I'm working in mobile hospitals, and on a daily basis, we will be reading some news, some essays, as well as play some soothing music to the patients. I prepare my content to broadcast very carefully on February the 14th. I specially prepared some content saying that probably we're not the one that at this moment we want to be with the most. However, at this time, we are the one that accompany each other. I call out for the patients in the mobile hospital to give each other a smile and express their thanks to the medical workers, in a hope that we will recover soon and go home together. I do not know what is the reaction at that time, but later I heard that they did as I said, and they are sending love and encouragement to the person next to them, and I finally feel useful. That was a really touching story, and there are volunteers of all different age groups. Many are young people, so we sincerely hope that many more people can participate in volunteering services. Now we open the floor to questions. I will still do this through video conference, and make sure you identify yourself first. With CMG and CCTV, during this battle, I think people from all walks of life are making their contributions as they can. So what is the deepest feeling for medical workers, or for all of you? During this battle, the grassroots police officers have really showcased their spirit. Since the outbreak, our colleagues are dealing with patients on a daily basis and put themselves in infectious risks. So as their chief, I have the responsibility to take into consideration their safety. But they continue to work despite the risks. And we are guarding 17 hospitals and isolation locations. And we have 6 party members that sign up voluntarily to guard one of the field mobile hospitals. And they promise that will not return home. In 28 days of service, they're working alongside with the medical workers in these hospitals, and they are every day in the risk of being infected. I asked one of the officers whether he is afraid. He said yes. He said everybody is afraid. At this period of time, the police officer has to rush before everyone else does. So I asked him to call his family on a daily basis. This is our responsibility. This is our job description to safeguard the security. And we also have colleagues that drive cars to send the patients to hospitals. And last week, we have one patient in Zhongguan Street who has some mobility challenges, and he had to go to the hospital. At that time, our police officer of 24 years old rushed to the hospital. It is a residential building with no elevator, so our police officer rushed to 6th floor and carry this patient downstairs, and this patient even threw up during this process. So to ease the pain, he slowed his steps and carried this patient from 6th floor to the 1st floor, and then transport him and send him to the hospital. And the family member repeatedly say that thank you, because the policemen are always where they are most needed. Despite the challenges that we have met, with the support of you all, we will finally win this battle to defend Wuhan. and the coldest winter will eventually pass, and the most beautiful spring is about to come.
还有谁想说两句吗？
我来说一下吧。这段时间我感受最深的可能就是我每天晚上回家之前的。
I was deeply touched by a lot of stories, but I actually struggled many times. I'm a post-90. I live with my parents, so I go home every night. At first, I dare not tell my parents that I work as a volunteer. I lied that I was on call. I feared that they will stop me from doing this. But before each day I come home, I am very struggled for fear that I will bring the virus home. Because I pick up medical workers on a daily basis, I dare not go to the mobile hospitals. But every time I step in the apartment, I was very worried. I'm fearful that my family members would not protect themselves well because they do not know what I'm doing. So I finally confessed with them, and my mom said, stunned, that have you no idea how dangerous it is outside? And my father asked, so where is your temperature taking post? And my father said that he will come instead of me. And he said that that he want to accompany me to check body temperature at the bridge. They still know that I'm working as a volunteer, but they never say that they support me, but they will be waiting for me at home, help me to disinfect every day and prepare dinner for me, and saying that good dinner can help me to improve my immunity, so they are protecting me in their ways. There are a lot of thousands of volunteers like me who is working hard in daytime, but even they dare not go home because they have family members at home. One of our colleagues actually lost his life during transportation of materials. He did not tell his kids that he traveled to Wuhan to send logistics, to send much needed medical resources. So it is a dangerous post. We are struggling every day, but we will stick to the end. As a medical worker, we have received a lot of consolation, a lot of support from our colleagues back home and our family members back home. And the Wuhan residents have provided us with a lot of support and have never hesitated to express their thanks to us. That is a great inspiration to us all, because this synergy will help us to win this battle in the end. With Hubei TV, the takeout service is not as convenient as before, as right now. So we admired your hard work. So is there a story or a special order
备注里面这样写
that
的
left you with the
妈妈做的饭
impression?
给爸爸送去。我爸
One
爸
night
是前线
I've
医生
already finished
谢谢
working and I was home,
看到
but
这
I
些
received a new
也帮我
order
吃
saying that
这样的单
this
是
is
送
dinner cooked by my
人家会
mom and I want to
很就到了
send this dinner
给女孩打电话
to my
他说
father.
他父亲
And
是
my
前
father
是
is
抗疫
a
一线的医生
medical
由
worker.
于害怕交叉感染
So
下班了之后
I
就
sensed
在
that this is something that I
医院
have
附
to
近的酒
do.
店里
This is
然后
Dr.
女孩又哭
Chen, who is working
能不
at
能
a frontline.
快点吧
For fear of
把饭送给父亲
infecting his family,
他妈
he
妈
chose to
把
stay
餐拿
at
给我 我
nearby
马不停蹄地推断前一
hotels.
天所住的酒店
And his
到
daughter
了最后才知道
asked me
前一天要
to
在教会医院
send
工作
this
正好把
food
晚餐交给他的同事
to the hotel as soon
没有完
as
成
I
女孩的
can.
小小心愿
Upon arrival,
我
I
不知道
was
重庆的
told
全部
that Mr. Chen,
知道
Dr.
他工作的
Chen,
医院
is at the
我只知道
hospital,
他
is
是一
called
名
back
尽
to the
忠职守的
hospital
好
to
医生
work.
一个好爸爸
And
他
I'm
有一
sorry
个
I did not
以父为荣的
con-
好女儿
actually accomplish
一
this
个
task. I
默
did
默
not
支持的妻
send
子
this dinner
很荣幸
to Dr.
成为
Chen.
这样的家
But
庭
what I know
全
is
力爱
that Dr. Chen
这样的家
is
庭
an excellent
普通
doctor
却不
and
平
he
凡
has a lovely daughter
我在这里
and very
祝福陈
supportive
医生和他的
wife
家
and
人
family.
平安
And
幸福
it's my honor to help you to send your
好
love
请继续提
and
问。
care to Dr. Chen.
您
So
好，
I
光
wish
明日报
Mr.
记者
Chen
提问
and。your family all well
最
and
近
healthy.
许多医护人员的事迹让我们深受感动。我想问一下，在一线救治过程中，有没有让医
With
护
Guangming
人员
Daily,
印象深刻的病人？能不能讲一讲他们的故事？
we are
谢谢。
impressed with many of the moving stories of the medical
有一位
workers.
82
So is
岁
there
的老
any
爷爷，
patient that
这位患者病情很
moved
重，
you?
入院的时候生活不能自理，下
There
床
is
走两
an
步，
elderly
都
man
细节不
of
上来，
82 years
说话
old
断
who
断
is
续续。
in very severe
但是经
cases,
过14天的救治，
and he even
精心的护
cannot
理，
get out of
不
beds.
但是药物上的
because
治
of
疗，
the
还有
shortness
这
of
个
breath.
精神上的鼓励。
But
终于
after
可以出
14
院了。
days of treatment
在
and
病房
care,
里，当我告知老人
both
家他可以
medically
出院的时
and
候，老人
mentally,
家激动地拉着我的
he
手说
was：“
女主任呐，
discharged
谢谢你啊，
from
谢
the
谢你救了我
hospital.
的命呐！
And when I
我能
tell
提
him
一个
that
小小的
he
要
is
求吗？
free to discharge,
您能和我合
he
张
said
影吗？
in
这将是我
excitement,
生
said,
命中
"Thank
最
you,
珍贵的
Dr.
一
Yu.
张照
Thank
片。
you so much for saving my lives.
出院当
Can I
天，
have a small
面对
requirement?
记者的镜头，
Can I take a
老
picture
人家
with
和
you?
我们一起弹响了
That
口
would
号：
be the most precious
金
photo
韩
of
加油，
me in
武
my
汉
whole
加油，
life."
中国加油！
Faced with the
看着
cameras of
一
the
位位患者
reporters, and
战
he
胜病
joined
魔，
us in
面
chanting
带
the
微笑
slogan,
离开医院。
"Come on, Jingtan," and
我的心
also
情
cheer
也
up
很激动。
Wuhan and
这对我
China.
们医护人员
So
也
it's
是一种
always
鼓
a
励，
blessing to see a
不光
patient
是精神上的
successfully
鼓励，
recover
也让我们
and
疲惫的身
and
躯
was
得到缓
discharged.
解。谢谢。
This is also
没
a
有话讲哈，好，有请。
enormous
我也讲一个在我
inspiration
们
to
危重症
us,
病
both
房的一位女患者，
psychologically and
因为
physically.
她的病情比较危重，我们给她做了气管切开，使用了有创呼吸机。那么管路
I
插上
also
之
want to
后，
tell a story
她
that
是不能
happened
说
in
话
the
的。有一
ICU.
天我巡视病
Um,
房的时候，
We have done intubation and have used this invasive ventilator on her. She cannot talk after
您是口渴
intubation.
吗？
So once I was
我
doing
心里还
round,
挺难受的。
she was writing on the bed cover.
我们要坚
She
持，
wrote water,
用
and
打开眼睛，
she
然后
winked
对我竖起了一
and
只
said,
大拇指。
and
其实
I
看到这
told
些，
her that you cannot drink
我
water
能
right
感受
now.
得到，他们对于生命的
And
那
he
份
winked
渴
in
望，
response
同
and
时
have
也
held
是
a
对医
thumb
护
up.
人员的那份的信任和支持。
I
幸运的
actually
是，
can
经过我们
feel
的精心治
that
疗，
they
这
have
位阿
the
姨
deepest
顺利地
longings
脱机，然
for
后现在
life,
正处于一个
and I want to
良
thank
好的
them
恢
for
复
their
状态。
trust for
谢
us.
谢。
Luckily, after treatment,
好的，谢谢主持人。我是中国青年
and
报
she
中国
is
青年
now
网的记
living
者。
off the
在这
ventilator
场疫
and
情中，
is
湖北有很多
in
志愿者
very
参加了
smooth
这场战
recovery
役，
right now.
有很多90后和95后的身影活跃在前线。
During this outbreak, there are many volunteers that sign up for this, many post-90s, post-95s. So can you share with us some of the feelings that you have during your volunteer work? I feel very proud to sign up for volunteer work during this special time. I've gained a lot of positive energy during this time. We as volunteers come from all walks of life, and we have different age groups. After taking off our masks, we probably would not even recognize each other, even if we run into each other on the street. But today, we joined each other out of the same hope to help our hometown to endure these difficulties, and they've given us power all the time. When I was working at the tolling station, I witnessed big vans that rush from all corners of the world to send necessary materials, and with slogans saying that do not be afraid, and we are here to help you. I think there is a carter from a village from Wenchuan who drove 20 hours from Wenchuan to help Wuhan, because during the earthquake, many of the kids and refugees of the earthquake were arranged to stay temporarily in Wuhan. So this time he came to Wuhan to send the much needed necessities for us, to say thanks to us. So these are stories and people that empowered me. Among the volunteers and the medical workers that come to help us, we have a lot of young people, post-90s, post-80s, and we have shouldered our responsibility, and instead of being taken care of, we are committed to taking care of the society, of everybody around us. I'm but one of many volunteers that are working in different locations on the streets. I want to say that I'm hoping more people can join us, because this war is not over. We need more people to come join us and to defend our city, our hometown, and Wuhan. Since the outbreak, the medical workers are working at the front line. So my question goes to Ms. Zhao. You're the only one who is not a local worker here. So do you have anything special to share? It is true that I'm not local, but I think all of the members from the medical teams have their heart and soul connected with our colleagues and patients here in Wuhan. We have so many colleagues that have signed up first time after this outbreak of the epidemic. We're now working on the front line. To be honest, I am a bit afraid, because we are facing with an unknown enemy, a completely new virus. So I am very concerned about the safety of my colleagues. But as a nurse, despite the special care, professional care that we can give to the patients, more importantly, we have to provide them with support, both physically and psychologically, so that they know that we are in this together.
花费太多的时间，所以我们最后一个问题好吗？看看记者朋友们有没有特别想问
Many
的
of our medical workers have just got out of their
你
night
好，我是
shift
新华社记者。
and they are
非常
very
感谢大
tired,
家的
so we do
分享。
not waste
我们这
too
次
much
听
of
到
their
特别
time.
好的
So
一句
last
话
question
是：
of
没有
today.
一个春天不会到来。
With Xinhua News
想
Agency,
问一下各位正站在前
thank
线
you
的
all
基
for
层工
those
作者，
touching
现在你
stories.
们最期待
One
的
of the
事
most
情是什么？
beautiful words that we've
谢谢。
heard is that there
问
is
题我
no
估计大家都有
spring
话
that
要
will
讲
not
哈。我
come.
们第一次
So
说
as
几
a
句
grassroots
我先来
worker,
说。
what do you expect
嗯
most at this special period of time?
我问过我身边所有的医生护士，你
Why
们最
don't we
期待
take
什么？
turns?
大家都异口同声，我们最期待这次
I
疫情能
asked all of
马
my
上结束。
colleagues in hospitals what do they expect
身体的
most.
疲劳，还有精神上
They
的
said
疲劳
in
已经达到
unison,
了极限。
we
大家依然在
expect,
咬牙
we
坚持。
are hoping that this
有
epidemic
的
can be
医生
over
在感
soon
慨人生，
because we are
等
now
疫情结束
working
了，一定不再省吃俭用了。
day and night
带着
and
老婆、
everything
孩
has
子，
been
每
has
逢
been
节假
pushing
日
to
都
the
出去旅游。
extremes, both physically and
有的外地的小
psychologically.
护士
So
只想
we
快
will
点回
be
家，
good
扑
to
到爸爸妈
ourselves,
妈的怀里，
take our
大哭一
family
场。
members to travel.
这次疫情，许多老年患者
And we have a lot of young nurses who just want to rush
有
back
多系统
home
疾病，
and cry in their parents' arms.
最后丧失了生命。许多儿女在电话里
We have a lot
在我们
of senior
住院部的楼底
citizens
下
who
大声地哭
have
泣。
caught this disease
如果时
and
光可以倒流，
tragically lost their
他们一
lives
定
due
不
to
会
this
出去
epidemic.
拼命的挣钱，而
And
会选
we've
择留
heard
在老人身
the
边陪伴。
devastating cries of their
所以，我
families.
更期待我们的科学家们
I
能够
think
早点研制出疫
from
苗，
this, we
早
will
点
know
研
that
制
it's
出
important
攻
to
克
spend
新
more
型冠
time
状
with
病
your
毒的特
families
效药。
while you can.
谢谢。
We're also hoping that our
武
scientists
汉是一个美
can
丽的城市。
develop special
希望
drug
这个
as well
疫
as
情赶
a
紧过去。
vaccine
然后我
to
以
help
一位
us fight
游
off
客的
this
身份，
disease.
再次回到这个
Wuhan is a
曾经
beautiful
奋战过的地
city.
方，在开满
I hope
樱花
that
的美丽
the
的
epidemic
街
can
头
pass
吃一
soon
碗热乎
so that I
的
can
香
come
喷
back
喷的
here
热
as
干
a
面。谢
tourist
谢。
to appreciate the beautiful cherry
最
blossoms
期待什么？
and
行政
taste
院
some of your best
我
local
们最期待
cuisines.
放几天假，回去补一顿
I also asked
营养
my
饭。
colleagues, what do you expect most?
社区民警告诉我，在这一次战斗中，
Their answer is a few days break and
战斗
a
结束以后，
family
我
dinner
们可以把
with
志愿
their
者组织起来，搞好
with their family
巡防
members.
巡逻民警
We
告
have
诉我，
also a lot of
战斗结束
volunteers
以
who've been
后，希
working
望我
very
们桥口
hard.
公安恢
We're
复
hoping
足球联
to
赛，让
organize
民警们都上场去踢踢球。
some activities
我最
for
大的期
them.
待是，我们染病的民警
And we
早日
will
康复。
restore this
等到
football
胜利的那一天，
championship
我们
of
摘下
our
口罩，
of our
走
district.
出校园，走
We're
上街头，
hoping that
扯扯家长，
those policemen, our colleagues who
见
have
证武汉这座
sadly
英
caught
雄
the
的城市
disease
再
can
现
recover soon.
车水
We
马
are
龙。
looking for that day when we can take off our mask, go to the street, and share more stories
穿梭在
and
街头
more
巷尾，
stories during
遇到很多跟
this
我一样
heroic battle.
在基层工作的普通人，比如我们的一个骑手小哥，说他的顾客想拥抱他，说这话的时候，
Because of the
他好像
job
在
that
发
I'm
光。
doing, I get to travel
工
on
人
scooters
在路边
through
跟家人
different
视频聊天。
streets.
水果店的小姐姐看我
And
装的东西比较多，就帮我上货。邮局
I
的
get to see a lot of
小女孩儿
people,
帮我找更大的纸箱，重新
cleaners,
打包。
some vendors,
由
fruit
于电梯停
vendors.
了，
They
快
have
递大
given
哥
us a
提
lot
着
of
两
help.
大袋快件，慢慢的爬楼梯。有这么多普通人的坚守岗位，我相信
Helping me to
最先
carry
熟的一定是病毒。
the luggage that I have.
我希望那时候
And I saw
这些
deliverymen
普
who
通岗位
has
的
also
普通人
been doing
能
their
得到更
job
多的理解和尊重。
with
到
so
了那
many
时候，
people
我
working
也希望
in
更多的
their
订单
ordinary
我可以
day
多赚
job.
点钱，在武汉生活得更好。我还
I,
有个小
I
小的愿
believe that
望，
we finally win this
条
battle.
件成
After
熟
this epidemic
可以再次
is
创业，
over,
重新出发。
we are hoping that people can
最后的
have
最后，
more understanding and care
我
towards
想等疫
each
情结
other
束，
and where I'm hoping to get more orders, and maybe I will start my own business.
我最希望的就
Last
是
but not least,
患
I
者
want
们
to
能
visit
够
my
早日
mom
出
after
院，
all of this is over.
早日与家人团聚，疫情早日结束。我希望一线在奋战在一线的天使
My
们、
biggest
战
wish
士
is
们
that
能够
all
平
of
安地归
patients
来。
can be
作为一名志
discharged,
愿者，
can
我
join
也
their
希望
families so
我的
that
志
this
愿者小伙
epidemic
伴
will
们都
finally
能
be
平平
over.
安安的。
We're
我
hoping that the
们
medical
相约在疫
workers
情结束之
can
后，
come back
能够
home
摘下口
safely.
罩，
As a
重新认识一下
volunteer, I
彼此，
also
大家
wish
都平平安
that
安
all
的
of my
相互
colleagues
拥抱。
can stay safe and healthy
作为一名老师，
so that
我
we
很期
can
待
take off our mask and
我很
get
想
to
我的
know
学
each
生
other
们，
once
我
again
很想走进校园
and
看看
look
他
at
们
each other's
可爱的
face.
笑脸，
And
想
as a
捏一下他们的
teacher,
小脸
I'm
蛋。
hoping
我想听一听
to
他们
return
最
to
近的经验
school
什么
and
故事，
classrooms
我也
to
可以跟他们讲一些
see my
我所知道
students.
的故事。我自己，
I
我
want to
想
hear their stories.
想画一个精致的妆，
I also
拉
want
着
to
我闺
tell
蜜的
them
手，
some
在
of the
商场里
stories
好
that
好的去
I
逛一
have
逛。
experienced.
我也想约一群小伙伴，我们围坐着吃一餐辣翻天的火锅。最重要的是，我
For
们能
myself,
够
I want to wear makeup and join my friends to go shopping.
最后，
or
就
for
像赵
hot
副市
pot.
长说的，我还希望这一次来武汉帮助我们的同胞还有朋友
It
们，
is so precious
疫情结
to
束之后
enjoy, be
再
able
来
to
一次
enjoy
武
the
汉，
sun and fresh air
来认识一
freely.
下这座你们这一次可能还来不及
We
认识
hope
的
that
城
all of
市。
those who have come to
我
our
们想带着
assistance
你们走
can
街
come
串巷，
back as
去登一
tourists
登黄鹤楼，去吃一吃好吃的小吃。武
to
汉
know
人
more about the
记得
city,
你们，
and we'll
武汉
take you
人
around
感谢你们，谢谢。
to Huanghelou and to taste
那
some
我
of the
们
local
作为
cuisines.
普通工作者的话，
We will remember
相信
you
记者
and
朋
we
友们
thank
和我
you
一
for
样，
your contributions.
非常的感动、激动。我身边的这些工作者，他们非常普通，就像我们的同学。
I believe that
我
all
们
of
邻居
you are like me, who are
大街上
deeply touched by
擦身而
these
过的
stories of the ordinary workers.
但是面对
They are
疫
like
情
our friends, our colleagues,
无数位
our
像他们
neighbors,
一样的普通
and
工作者
passerbys on the street.
选择了坚强和勇敢，
But faced
选
with
择
this
了担当和
epidemic,
奉献
many more
从他们
ordinary
身
workers
上
like them
我们能够看到
chose to
举
stay
国齐心、努
stay
力起来
strong
的磅礴力
and
量。
chose to make
我们也
contributions.
能够看到中华民族
From
在
them,
不
we
断
can
战胜
really
艰难
see
险阻的过
this
程中，
powerful synergy that we have formed across the country
我相信
and the Chinese nation
我们一定可以取得
will show their great spirit, especially in the face of
最后，我
disasters
建议
and
在见面
difficulties
会的
with such
结束
heroic
之前，
nation
我们
and
照一张
people
合影吧。
will finally win
我们
this
一起来加
battle
油好吗？
against
来，
the COVID-19 epidemic.
让我们一起
Let's take
来
a group
为
photo before we
中国
end
加
today's
油！
press
湖
conference.
北加油，武汉加油！再次谢谢你们，今天的见面会到此
So
结
now
束。
final call out for China, for Hubei and Wuhan. Thank you all for joining